Welcome back everyone to Welstopia. Today we are starting here at Lilac Lane, which is the second of the paved roads that I have here in Salt Marsh. And because I have a Lilac Lane and a Rose Avenue, I'm thinking I'm going to need a peony place to take care of the third type of large flower that we have here. But that will be for later, after I figure out exactly where that new road is going to go. There we have it right there on the map. But if we look on this map, you'll see that I now have the border flags down on the northeast side. Therefore, we could see the curve of the borders coming along here, all the way up here down to the east. Now, if you notice, this large bay right here is completely within my territory. And somewhere in here is where I was planning to build the ship, and I was wondering where should be a good place to build the ship so that it won't be too close to the shoreline, but it won't be too far away either. And I figured, where can I build it in the bay and it be in my territory? Well, apparently the answer is anywhere. Well, probably, maybe, well, I was thinking maybe down here, but that might not be a good idea because that would be too visible, because I presume that the fishing vessels are doing all their fishing down in this area here. And therefore, we'll want the vessel, the vessel being used by the smugglers to be down this way most likely. And the reason why I want to think about that now is I think that would be a good project for December, would be for me to go and build that ship, because that's a very important part of the adventure, because that interfaces with the haunted house. It has to be within sight of the haunted house, which is why it's important for that to be over there. Now, on the other side, up here, we have a nice little area that I built here. So now we have everything nice and sheltered. So I have shelters on both ends, so rain won't be coming down and ruining my day over here. For this episode, though, I do want to take care of the Hall of Records, which I spoke of on a couple of occasions, and it needs to actually be built now. And I think it's best to build it here, right across the hall from the big map. That would make sense. And also, it will be close to the main part of the village, as opposed down near the trading center right down there. We could have Hall of Trade records and stuff like that, of course, could be down there, probably near where we have that warehouse. Now, where would be a good place to build it? Would this be good? I think where I want to build it is right smack where that torch is. Where are my torches? Oh, it's tricky finding these things. There you go. There's our torch. I think I'm going to start by digging out this area. Then once that's done, I could then build what I want to put in here. What do you put into a Hall of Records, I wonder? Here are the beginnings of our records room. I've cut out the shell here. I figure the people coming in here requesting records will all come down here into this little area here. We could have a barrier here where the person attending them could be the clerk, and then behind here then we'll have where the records are actually stored. We have a little bit of room directly behind for the most recent records, the one most likely needed, or of course where they'll keep various paperwork that people regularly need to fill out. And old records are probably kept back here. This is an area that had cordoned off earlier, which was a part of the natural cavern system. And I figure they'll utilize the natural cavern system in keeping track where everything is here. Now, with that, I figure we can have this come in like this, a bit sort of a little branch off into this, but the bulk of this, actually, how about granite along the side here, and that we can have diorite for the main bit of it. Yeah, I think that'll work. She got a better idea. We'll have granite here also. We'll have diorite here. And then we'll have a new pattern on the other side once we get the barrier built. Let's try a diorite stripe right here, where we're going to be placing our little barrier. Then we'll go and do what we did over here on this side, meaning a border made of granite. And we'll be placing diorite here, and we are going to need some lining, of course, if we're going to keep mobs from spawning all over the place. We don't need that for the moment. Yes, replace the right thing. Okay, there you go, and there you go. Now for our little barrier. Put that there. Now what we're going to do is we are going to have trap doors on either end. There you go, there you go, with a possible for you to put the trapdoor on top here instead of on the bottom there. Let's see, let's put this here. And then this one over here. I think that'll be a better fit for what I want to do. Then I can place the, oops. I think I'm going to need stairs on either end so that it looks believable. There you go, much better. Boom, boom, so the clerk can get in and out. I know, not very impressive if you could just walk over it, but you can go through it in need. There we are, so that takes care of that bit. For where the clerk is, we'll need to extend this a little bit, but see about these walls. Since we already have andesite here, I might as well go for andesite here also. Besides, we seem to have andesite all over the place. So I'll take this down. Actually, what do we do for the ceiling? What would be good for the ceiling? Obviously, I don't want it to be dirt. Now the question is this dirt? Yeah, I can remove this dirt. Good. So I'll remove this dirt. That way I have 4 up on there. I think that'll be a good size. Any larger I think will be way too much. But I do have to think of a material to place up on the top. I want something that contrasts with the rest of the room, so let's just try regular stone and see how that looks. Hopefully that's good enough. I don't want to use any type of brick or anything like that up at the top. Now I guess one possibility is using a brick type thing down the floor and using the pattern I have here on top, but let's start with stone and see how that works. That's reasonable, so we can then finish up the back wall. Now the back wall we're not going to close up all the way because we're going to have the little exit for the clerk to go into the back area where we'll have several things to be stored. Now it would be nice if I could have some stone stairs or something like that, but I guess I could use stone brick for the stairs going down because I can't have regular stone stairs due to them not yet being available in the game. There you go. And what do we want here? Oh, let's get rid of this. There you go. So we could just plop that in there. That could be the way to the back. And this could finish this up right when I run out of polished andesite. Good! Perfect! Back on this end, we could place some cobble right here. Then we could place this over here. And perhaps that's down like that. Right, we can do it like this. We could place a few chests over here for some storage of records. Good. And we could open up this section here and do the same on this end. So we could have records all over the place. Now I am going to place some chests here, but they're going to be mainly for decorative purposes to say this is where they're going to be storing stuff, even though nothing game-wise will go here unless I decide to throw some overflow in here or something like that. And let's see, we need this to be we just put this here. We can go down here like this and maybe up a little bit here. And we could use more of our stone stairs to get around. I decided to use stone slabs on the bulk of the floor and have gradual inclines, and just having the stone stairs there. I put a set of chests over here and another one down there. That's where they'll keep the long-term records back in this room. Good. Now the short-term records, the ones that people need all the time, I could place in these chests over here, and that's our hall of records. Good. Maybe we could add a couple of banners here for our area. Put one there, put one there, so we could say this is part of Salt Marsh's record hall. And put one here. There. A bit overkill with the banners, but there you go. A few banners to signal where we're at. And if we're going to do that, we might as well place one right there. There you go. Some banners, and that'll help things to be decorated a little bit more. I think this will do. Yes, this area has a little bit of an unfinished look to it, but I think that's the idea here, that it's been made so that it would be relatively safe, but it wasn't made so that's completely finished and all, because this isn't where the people come, and you only had so much budgeted in order to have the place done. And of course, it's the place that everybody comes and sees is where you're going to spend all the money. Nice. I think I know what to do. I'm going to take this road right up here, extend it due west, and this become Lilac Lane, and Peony Place then will be this little branch up here. So therefore, even though I started the episode saying I was on Lilac Lane, that's the part that's going to get renamed when I extend this road straight that way. I think that's the best way to handle this, and I think that would be a good third road for us to have. Now, show what I'm talking about. Right here you can see that this goes, it curves around and follows around there. And I think that we have a really nice place for a road if we go right over here. Sorry about that, Lilac. But a number of lilacs are going to be going, actually a number of lilacs are going to be relocated down in this direction. And removing those that are over there. There you go. A little bit of dirt. And then we'll be set. And if I ever need a fourth one, I can always call it Banner Way and use banners in order to align it. There you go. And we can just continue it down that way. And of course, move a bunch of lilacs. Here we have our branch, Peony Place, going down to where Lilac Lane used to go, and Lilac Lane now extends all the way down here until you reach this hill. I'll have to decide later on what I'm going to do about this location here, whether it just stops at the hill, whether it climbs the hill, whether it cuts through the hill, or whatever it does. I guess I'll first have to decide exactly what I want to do with this hill. But that'll be for later, and I think this is far enough for this road. It may be extended later, but for now, this is where we'll put it. It's all nice and lit, all paved, and that makes the third of our roads that we have in this area. In case you wonder, no, I do not have any sunflowers, so there won't be any sunflower circle for a while. But if there ever is one, I guess I could put one right around here. Now these will be our paved roads. You can see right here I do have an unpaved road right here that leads from the end of Rose Avenue down to our nether portal here. And I'll most likely have small unpaved roads going all over the place. Paths probably more likely than roads really. And this is what will connect various places all together. But before I have that, I'll be needing some buildings in which for them to connect to one another. But I figure we could have our baseline roads, then I could build my buildings, then I could worry about the rest of the paths later on. Then I could worry about here. As you can see, the Lilac Lane is now going a pretty far distance here until it hits this hill that's right over here. Yes. And that's where we are for Salt Marsh for the time being. But next time we are going to be leaving Salt Marsh and heading over into this bay here. I suppose I'll have to think of a good name for this bay. I haven't thought of any names for any of the waterways right now. I suppose this could be the Salt Marsh River or something like that, or we could come up with some other name for that. But as for the bay, well, maybe I'll come up with a name for it. But for the time being, though, we are going to be coming here next time and building a ship. Probably not a very large ship, but one which can be used for smuggling operations. And we'll see into that in the next episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Welstopia.